Hello and welcome to Gaia GPS. This is where we come together and pull cards for the week ahead. We just had an animal intrusion. That's just really cute as we were starting. I'm Mimi and I'm here with Nicole Oman.
Hi.
Who's here with her dog who may be popping in. There he is.
We have a new Mahalo and a new Ryan because last time Ryan is the one who came. Hello. Are you going to tell me to stop recording? Hello.
That's so cute. All right, so let's dive in. We've got a big week, lots of shifts ahead. And we're beginning with the moon shifting into Capricorn this evening, Monday evening, Monday, May 24th or 23rd, whatever date it is. And the cards that I pulled, Capricorn is an earth sign. It is a sign of manifestation. And I got to say that I've pulled the patience card. And I was talking to a client about this card this week. And the patience card, it's like, oh, we're still waiting. But the thing with the patience card is that, you can see this is happening, this manifestation. It's a work in progress. This woman, she's pregnant. The baby is alive. It's being born. And I pulled Treasure Island, which is a card that says kind of the same thing. You're being led to your treasure. You're being led to your manifestation. And this manifestation, this treasure, I don't know if you can see on this card, it's riding on a turtle. So it's kind of slow. We are in the flow. So, what's ever coming for you, see the signs that the universe is giving to you, that whatever it has been that you've been planting during, Sun in Taurus. We planted a lot of seeds with this new moon in Taurus, with the fertility energy of Taurus, it's coming along, but it's still just not quite there yet. And the information, well, the helpfulness is go through the gate. There may be some, what you perceive as obstacles that you may have to work through. I think this is where the energy of Capricorn helps because, Capricorn, you've seen those pictures of those goats that scale the mountain, and it's like a vertical mountain, and they're like, here we are. And it's so funny. I actually watched a video today of the honey badger. Honey badger escaping Alcatraz, honey badger Alcatraz. Honey badger would be like, this gate, no problem. So you as your person, moving through, just unlock these little gates, unlock these obstacles to continue moving with your flow, going where you want to. And from the goddesses, I pulled Nematona, sacred space. And so one of these obstacles may just be getting in alignment with yourself. And sometimes to get in alignment and get out of your own way, the obstacles out of your own head, you've just got to create your own time with the divine to let them just show you how to take that lock off the gate and move through. So Nematona, sacred space. And one last thing before I hand this over to Nikki for the Moon in Capricorn. I read a quote. It's been all over online this week. And it's basically about, the mountains, how you're supposed to climb. It says you've been carrying these mountains with you when you've just been meant to climb them. So you don't have to carry these obstacles. Don't keep carrying these obstacles in your head. Talk to the divine and see how it is that you're meant to make your way to your treasure. It's going to be easy. These turtles in the flow, it doesn't have to be hard. Nicole?
Yeah, so I'm going to piggyback off what you said, Mimi, but I'm getting it in a different way. So I have the inner guidance, or the inner voice card. I have the maturity card. I have the aloneness card, and I have the beyond illusion. So this is what I'm getting from this. I also have from the Return of Spirit deck, the Starseed card. So with this dynamic, what I'm getting is what was the card that you got? The last one with the spirit?
Nematona?
No. Hold on, let me get it. Wisdom of the Oracle.
Oh, Treasure Island card.
Okay, this is what I'm getting with your Treasure Island. I think your Treasure Island is an inner treasure. And you might be wanting it externally, but what I'm getting is you first dig for treasure within, and then you'll start finding the treasure without. And what I'm getting, especially with the Starseed card, I feel like, and this is happening for me, I feel like your guidance system or different types of energies are coming through to teach you how to work with energy dynamics differently, maybe becoming more psychic, more intuitive. in any form, it's going to help you in your maturation. So if this may be a healing cycle for you, but really I feel like there's more inner knowledge coming, and trusting yourself in another way, and really going out on your own and trusting your own knowledge instead of the knowledge. Yes, you can take me and Mimi's advice. You can take all these other dynamic, beautiful light workers on the planet. But if you do feel called into the light workers clan, into this group that we have come to be, you know what? You're either a light worker or you're not, and you know it. You feel it, right? So what it's saying is you got to come out of the illusion. Stop thinking that this is meant for somebody else. Logan, great. Come here. I know.
I'm a light worker too.
You are a light. Oh, don't bark in my ear. I love you. I love you. Okay. So what I'm getting, sorry guys. So what I'm getting is really with this Capricorn moon. Let him out.
Oh, the interruptions. At least it's not Mahalo. I'm surprised Lala and Mahalo aren't reacting to the dog barking.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so what basically the message is, I'm sorry this is choppy, but basically the message is, trust your inner voice. Trust what's going on. Trust this new connection you're getting from spirit, and start to ground it out with that Capricorn energy. So write a blog, maybe talk about it to somebody. You're going into another step. So if you've had a lot of these, but you've been keeping them to yourself because you're like, I don't want to throw my pearls to swine, this might be the next step in your journey to put it out there or use it for yourself, just depending on where you are in the energetics of your journey. But really get that guidance system in a whole nother way.
Awesome.
I don't know if that has anything to do with Capricorn, but that's the cards.
Yeah, it works. I like it. I mean, whatever. That's how it's showing up. That's how Moon and Capricorn is showing up. I think it's great. Actually, and I really feel a lot of that with my cards for Venus moving into Gemini. So Venus is shifting into Gemini tomorrow. Venus is the planet of relationships, the planet of pleasure, the planet of your talents and your worth. And Gemini rules the mind. And I've pulled some really fascinating cards in this energy. I have pulled Harmony, Compromise, Schizophrenia in reverse, and Thunderbolt in reverse. And what I'm feeling, with this energy, and I'm going to say this one too, clean it up. Clean it up. We are being called to release these past relationships, those past relationship traumas, that energy. You are being called to release that. Clean it up. Let it go. That's part of, I think what Nikki was saying about the treasure being inside. You've got to clean up this stuff, because this stuff, you're going to keep replaying it in your head, how this person betrayed you and this relationship fell apart and you ran at this time or another. And it's like, what you really want is to find that harmony, to be able to work with somebody. The Compromise card is right side up. So working with somebody, but you've got to let go of this other stuff, because this is just taking you out of the energy that you want to be in. And with, Venus and Gemini, this is a really potent time to either hone your pleasure with your mind and bring it in, or to, focus on that other old stuff, which will also bring that in. So, wisdom of the oracle, to find that harmony that you really want, you've got to clean it up. Focus on yourself. Go in, like Nikki said. Do that treasure work on yourself. Clean it up. And from the goddesses, I pulled Athena, and it's, you know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. Honor yourself. This is also not something you need to go outside. You don't need to go outside to get cleaned up. You've just got to kind of face, I did go through those things. What are the lessons in these things? And maybe, like Nikki said, maybe it might be about writing this and getting this out. Gemini is a very, communicative sign. You may need to talk about it with your friends or write it out. But trust that process and go through, clean it up so that you can get to this place. Because ultimately, this is what Gemini wants. Gemini wants to have fun. They want to connect. They want to have harmony. But you can't avoid doing the work. Show up for this first. Do that work. And then you're going to get there really easily. Nicole?
And I'm going to tell you, there is resistance. You're wanting to be lazy with this. You're wanting it to, you know what? And if you think that you've already done it, that's another thing that this card tells me is like maybe you thought you've arrived and now you can just chill. And, you know, it's like me and Mimi just talked about a dynamic of, you know, oh, I went through this stuff and I'm starting to feel like myself again. And then we're back in the fray again. So know that if you think you already did it, it's not over yet. Things are cracking around you, and don't get stuck in the I've arrived. We all haven't arrived. Even if you've done like the most massive amount of work on yourself, which I hear I've been doing massive amounts of work on myself for over 10 years now, but I haven't arrived. You know, I'm not Jesus. I'm here with you guys. I am human. I make mistakes. I say stupid stuff. And we're always constantly going through that process. By thinking you have arrived, however, you can actually end up blocking the healing, blocking the integration, and really making it more stressful for yourself than it needs to be. So allow the pain to come up. Allow that pain, that sorrow. You have to feel it. You have to be honest with yourself. If you really are hurt, you're hurt. You can't pretend like you're not hurt because you don't want to have that confrontation. Gemini is saying, you know, this Venus in Gemini is saying, communicate from the heart. Be honest. I mean, that Venus is all this heart energy, being honest with the heart. And Gemini's like, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about where I'm hurt because we're not moving forward. And if you're having that much of a hard time with this energy, ask for assistance. I feel like you can ask for higher assistance, or you can ask a friend to give you a second opinion. Like, am I the one in the wrong here? Am I going nuts? What do you think? Like, how, you know, maybe they can assist you in that. Or maybe just ask for assistance or ask for support from somebody else to really hold space for you to have that conversation. Because with another person, you know, so ask someone that is neutral territory to be like, can you just pray for me or love on me because I'm scared. I'm scared to tell this person I'm hurt. But with that assistance, that extra energy might just give you the support you need to get past this resistance, past the pain, and really begin to heal and integrate the lessons that need to be healed and integrated.
Well, speaking of lessons, this is going to be an interesting week for lessons because we're building through this week to an exact square between Jupiter and Saturn. So Jupiter's in Virgo at 13 degrees. Saturn is in Sagittarius at 13 degrees. And they're, by the way, interacting with Neptune, which is hanging out at 11, 12 degrees in Pisces, late 11 degrees in Pisces, and the Sun in Gemini, which is making its way, closer to that energy. So it's basically like a grand mutable cross. And grand mutable cross can feel like a crossroads. It can feel like indecision. It can feel like I don't know what to do and everything's changing moment to moment. And that those squares, like Nikki said, that resistance. Oh, that's so good, that resistance, because it's really, I don't know. The resistance is so prevalent with this energy, and the resistance to like continuing the work really may come up with this Jupiter-Saturn thing. Because I agree with Nikki. I've been doing this work for a really long time, and the work doesn't stop because we keep evolving, and there's still more layers. You'll be done when you're not here. and even then, it's debatable whether you're done or not, because I think we're infinite beings. I don't think done happens. But I pulled a really interesting set of cards. I'm starting with Wisdom of the Oracle for this Saturn-Jupiter square on Thursday. There's no place like home. And I pulled Vesta, home. And I pulled the Creator card. Look at this, that light, that home in the center of you. And that's what I think this energy is calling us to do. You may feel that tug of war. Jupiter in Virgo is lighting up our body energy, and it can light up, reality. Like, this is what is. And Saturn retrograde has us looking at our beliefs and shifting our old beliefs. And, Saturn and Sagittarius, we want to know the truth. We want to know what the truth is. And Saturn retrograde is like, you can handle the truth. And so instead of like focusing without, like, what's the truth and what's all this energy is saying, come back home. Come back home into yourself. Vesta is the card of your inner light, your inner fire, your divine spark. The No Place Like Home card is saying the same thing. Come back into your center and the creator. There it is. There's that light right there in the center. There's the Vesta. There is your home. And that's the advice that I was giving in this Astro for this week is, with this push-pull resistance energy, what you can keep coming back to, what do I really want? What feels right for me? How can I be true to myself? And in this resistance, just keep coming back to that. You may find that resistance, through your friendships. It may be through your job. It depends where it is in your chart. There's lots of ways this resistance can come up for you. But if you keep coming back into your inner creator, into that light, and asking yourself, what is it that I really want? You are not going to go astray. You'll be, on your right path. And besides those cards, I also pulled the Rebel, the Emperor card, breaking through these chains, being willing to show up for yourself and what you want. That's part of moving through that resistance, is participating in the unfolding of your life and then receiving what Spirit wants to offer you in alignment with this. So it's really powerful energy. And that's the thing, like, as much as you're being pushed and pulled, let that expand you, but let that expand you from your center instead of letting it pull you completely off your center. And if you feel pulled off center, which these, grand cross energies can do, come back in and ask yourself, what is it I want? What do I feel? What lights me up? What turns on my soul? And then how can I move in alignment with that? Nicole?
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a beautiful frequency change coming with this energy. When we change frequencies, it's like frequencies on a radio. So, one station you're getting like country music, and then the next station you got hip hop, and then the next station you got classic rock. But what happens is whoever's like a CB radio with truckers, anybody on that station you can connect to. So when you have that frequency shift, I think that it's already happened, but I think with this Saturn and Jupiter square, what's going to happen is Jupiter is trying to get you to expand, and Saturn is trying to mature you in the way that you expand and who you expand with and what you're expanding to. And what they're saying is it's a really good way to have a freedom of some old patterns and behaviors. But as you have freedom, what are you receptive to now? What is the frequency that you're on, and what are the people you're bringing in? What frequency? What kind of dynamics do you want now? How do you want to be treated in certain relationships? How do you not want to be treated in certain relationships? And I think that this square is really asking, like Mimi said, what do you want? What do you want? What frequency do you want to be on? How do you really feel like you need to be treated? Because if you feel like you want to be treated well, first of all, you got to say no to the people that are treating you badly, and allow yourself to move into that higher frequency of saying yes to new things of your life. But the first are those boundaries. The Saturn's like, there is restrictions here. You can't let everybody in, because not everybody has your best interest in mind. So what I'm getting from this is, yes, to expand, there's another part that needs to have restriction or boundaries or rules. I know that sounds funny, but it's like, what is okay? What is okay in your world? And what are you willing to allow in to that new frequency? Because really, when you move up, a lot of things fall away. And it needs to fall away. Are you ready to let those go? To receive new, better opportunities, people, jobs, money, insert what you want here. But you have to get on that frequency. I think there's also, I'm getting that there's going to be someone in particular that's coming in. Like, it's going to be a person. You're going to get a person that comes in, and that person is going to be on that new frequency, and either you're going to heighten to their frequency or not. But there is going to be like a person that shows up in that potentiality that you want to be at. And so you got to match their frequency.
I'm laughing because my cards for Aquarius are so like this. I'm going to start with my Wisdom of the Oracle. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, because my Wisdom of the Oracle for Moon shifting into Aquarius, also on Thursday, is a leg up. Somebody coming into your life, a friend coming into your life and giving you a boost, right? Like you were saying, like it's so perfect. And the other card that I pulled, you know, I was asking for more information. I pulled Existence in reverse, and I'm hearing like this isn't. You're not meant to go at this alone. And I heard the Beatles song, "I Get By with a Little Help from My Friends." So I feel that there's somebody coming in, somebody or somebody's coming in to help you with this frequency shift. And it makes sense too that you're talking frequency, because as we're going through like the height, the peak of this square, this cross, we're going to have the Moon in Aquarius, and Moon in Aquarius is really focused on those vibrations, on frequency, energy. And so, you know, notice who resonates and who doesn't resonate. And that's, you know, I always like to take it down into the yum and yuck terms, but really feel it out. Like, do you feel bonded to this person? Do you feel connected to them? Or is there, you know, is your lesson like, okay, not at this time? And it's okay to honor that. I pulled the Rebirth card, you know, and so again, like what Nikki was just saying in what she was saying, like this is like you're shifting, you're coming into a new version of yourself. And it's going to be a moment-to-moment thing. It's not going to be all at once, but let these people come in and help you. The other card that I pulled from the Goddesses, which is interesting, and I was kind of likening this to your friends, is the Go Outside card by Cordelia. It says, you've been inside too long, go outside and get some fresh air. Your friend may come in the form of a tree. It may be tree, it may be nature, it may be flowers, but your frequency shift may come through you connecting to nature, or it might be connecting to your friends or people outside. But, you know, outside in nature, it is so helpful for resetting us, getting us in tune with our own natural vibrations, whether you're a mountain person or you're a beach person or you're a forest person or you're a desert person, whatever the energy is for you, get outside so that it can help you get into your frequency where you're at right now, you know, again, into your cosmic center, into the light within you. And then, you know, you may find your person who's going to give you a leg up there. So kind of an obscure Moon in Aquarius reading, but whatever, it's Aquarius, so that's what you're getting.
I was going to say, every time I pull for any Aquarius energy, it's all over the map, and I'm like, okay, Aquarius, but for some reason, even though they're all over the map, they somehow figure themselves out. So through the reading. So here, this is where I'm going to start. We're going to start here at the Innocence card. But beyond what I see with Innocence, these colors remind me of a vision that I've had. And so I'm going to go here. Another way to heighten your frequency is through sinking into an actual like frequency, like the word compassion, or the word love, or the word innocence, or the word forgiveness. What do you feel like you could sink into and be embodied by? I am getting the word compassion. So if you are needing to heighten your frequency, you might be fighting a little too hard, or you're being a little too edgy, or you're being a little too judgmental. And the way to combat judgment, edginess, is soft, compassion, innocence, right? So to sit in that frequency is to heighten your own frequency. Your cells start radiating or start vibrating with that particular virtue. And when it does that, then guess what? You're pulling in more compassionate people. And so that the energy, like a bee might come to you and you're in an edge and it will sting you. But if you're coming it to a soft spot, it might just look at you and just fly away, right? That's the beauty of frequency and the whole nature thing of it. Because you're shifting out, what I'm getting you're shifting out of is an old conditioned way of resonating, resonate, your resonance. And it's really hard because you haven't known any other way. That's the way you were conditioned. That's your pure foundation of how you were raised. So if you can anchor into that new frequency, it's easier. The garbage truck is outside my window right now. What is going on? I am having noise resistance at this moment. The dog, Ryan. Sorry.
I can't even hear the garbage truck except maybe the squealing of its brakes.
Okay. It's really loud here, like really loud, because it's right outside the window. Okay. So what I'm getting also with the assistance or the leg up is it's way easier to ground into a frequency, a new one, by calling in the master who's mastered it. So let me give you a clue. Kuan Yin, master of compassion. She's here to help you anchor that. Call her in. Feel her meditating inside of your body. Like you guys are in a oneness state. And she will show you how to embody the frequency of compassion. Christ is forgiveness. He's unconditional love. Bring that frequency in. Michael is truth. It's also feeling more power. Buddha has a lot of peace energy, harmony, enlightenment, opening the mind, clearing out the mind. So whatever you're needing, call in that master who mastered that, and they will help anchor in the energy for you. That's a really beautiful leg up. I've had so many of these masters come into my own life to teach me these certain frequencies, because who's better to teach me than the coming from straight from the horse's mouth? That's their purpose here on life. So if that's what you're looking for, call that in, and they can get to you. And what Mimi said, if you're needing grounding, go get a tree. If you're learning how to grow, find a flower. I know that sounds so hippy dippy, but that's their frequency. That's their resonance. And so when you connect to that resonance, your cells, it's nature, it's biology, your cells get it and will start staying on that same frequency. But you'll need an anchor.
Awesome.
Conditioned behavior, it's so hard to just come up with it out of thin air.
I think that's the beauty of the saints, the gods, the goddesses, the archangels, the ascended masters, is that it pulls in that frequency, and it gives you, like you said, an anchor. It gives you something to focus on. We're always looking for mentors. I'm at least always looking for a mentor here on this physical plane. But the nice thing is we have these energetic mentors, and all else fails, they are always there holding space and really want to come in and are willing to help you if you call them in. So, it's definitely part of my practice to work with those energies, and they're a lot more in integrity than humans, because humans have their human stuff. So
yeah, and and this is what I've gotten from them is this is why, of course, we did it. They're like, of course, we did it for our own ascension, obviously, because they want to ascend too. But they're like, but that's also why we come back. We come back because we did it, and we know how freaking hard it is to do it on such a dense reality. And at this time right now, we're getting the best of both worlds. We're getting the hardest, craziest, screwed up dynamics, and we're also getting some really lovely high frequencies on the planet at the same time. So they're like, guys, we see you guys. We see it. If you need help, that is why we're here. We're here to anchor that, because we know it's hard enough. If you've never been compassionate to somebody in your whole life, how do you think you're going to learn compassion? They're like, you got to call on somebody to help you. You can't just, you can pull it out of thin air if you want to, but it's going to take you lifetimes, lifetimes, lifetimes. We did it. Let us hold your hand through it. don't make it harder. Life is hard enough. Don't make it harder on yourself by trying to be stubborn and be strong through it. Like, they're chilling, waiting for you to go, hey. But by the way, they will come in if you really need them on their own. But they go, call us in. It makes it so much simpler. It's so much easier to get to you if you just call me in. We want to go, oh, just come in and read my mind. And they're like, it kind of works that way. But really, if you just call us in, it's so much easier.
So much easier. They love to help, absolutely. And I think they're going to need to show up because for Friday, we have Mars. And Mars has been retrograde, and Mars is retrograding into Scorpio as of Friday. And I've pulled some really fascinating cards. I pulled Rhiannon, and I pulled Past Lives and Adventure. And this Past Lives card, you know, it's almost like, to me, this is kind of like a figure of the womb in this Past Lives energy. And I think this adventure, this Rhiannon, this Past Lives energy is asking you with Mars in Scorpio to get into the root of things, get into the heart of things. You know, our root chakra, our sacral chakra, that heart of creation within us, is really activated with Mars energy through our passion, through our desires. And so this is saying, get in there, rework it, use this retrograde energy to notice what is your motivation, where is it taking you. You know, based on this energy that's coming up and surging from here, how are you aiming your desires? How are you moving into this Mars energy? This is a beautiful chance to get in there and shift this energy. And what I really like, because most of these cards are upright because I haven't really shuffled them, so they've gotten around and upside down. But this card from the Wisdom of the Ages actually did come in upside down, and it's the Poised card. And the protection message in the Poised card, the reverse message, is one of saying, this is not a time to play the fake it till you make it game. This is the time, it says, like, literally, you'll end up in the muck if you fake it till you make it. This is the time to get in, notice your motivations. So again, it almost goes back to that message earlier of coming into your center, coming into your light. What is it that you really want? And this is taking it a step beyond what is it you really want. Why is it that you want this thing that you really want? Here's your opportunity to get in there and work with it. And this is part of your creation power. Rhiannon, like sorceress, you're a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. This comes from getting in and noticing, what energy am I carrying in this lower energy, in this, you know, creative mother energy. Whether you're masculine or feminine, we all have like that space, that sacral chakra energy, that root chakra energy that we create from. So don't fake it. And I think faking it, that's a head game when you're faking it. When you're faking it till you make it, that's a head game, and it's not a feeling game. This is saying, get into the feelings, get into the root, get into your cellar of your desires. And you may find in this energy, with this like past life card, this is actually, I think, the moon card in, yeah, right? It's the moon card in traditional.
Silence is the moon card.
I think 18 is the moon card, isn't it?
Oh,
it would make sense. What?
That's 18?
Yeah, this is 18.
All right, I'll look. Well, you keep going. I'll look.
Yeah. Well, I think this is the moon card, but, you know, regardless of whether it is or not, this past lives card, this also can speak of our ancestral paths. And a lot of us are, like, still following that energetic path, taking those patterns and those lessons. And so it's saying, get in there and recognize, you know, that you've been taking those paths. It may be time to break free from those paths. But first, you've got to get in there, do a little digging. You know, this is what these retrogrades are for, is for doing that digging, and then see how you're going to come out. And it may be hidden from you yet. You may not recognize that you're still carrying this energy. You may see your family and be like, I am so far removed from how they've done things. I mean, when it comes to me and my family, like, we are so different, and yet I see those patterns. I see the patterns. And so don't, like we talked about earlier this week, don't dismiss it saying, I've done that work. Be willing to still get in there. Show up for it. And if you need to see it, you will. You know, I think that's one of the things. These things, they do come forward. But the beauty is, once you see it, you can shift it. You're an amazing, amazing worker, so you can shift it. But don't fake it. There's no need to fake it at this time. It is the moon card, yeah?
It's
Yeah.
the moon card. Mm-hmm.
What is the silence card?
The star card.
The star card. That's so weird.
Why would they do that? It looks like a moon.
I know. I always thought that.
They should have just did past life as the star card. I don't know.
That's so funny. All right.
Well,
whatever.
Either way. Yeah, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Anyways. Okay, so what I'm getting for this lovely Mars retrograde in Scorpio, we start off with the storm card. So we're going back, and I feel like it's a past storm. Like the storm, you're going to have to go in the storm in a whole new way, but it's from a past issue. It's either a past, it's a past hurt, past betrayal, past wounding of some kind, and something that hasn't been fully put on the table. And it might be not just with one person. There might have been a couple people involved with this issue. And you yourself have been carrying a burden of weight. Whether you were the one hurt or you were the one that hurt others, you've been carrying the burden. And I don't think it's fair for you to be the only one carrying this burden around. If you're hurt from something, you got to tell them, because they got to carry their end of the weight. It's like, stop carrying around everybody else's or taking responsibility for everybody else in the way they showed up. It's okay for them to grow up and put on their big boy girl pants and be willing to hear what you have to say in the way that you need to say it. Because something happened in the past that did not feel right to you. And you held on to it, pretending like it was okay. And then if got further and further away from when it actually occurred, you're starting to realize, maybe this wasn't okay with me. And it's starting to snowball a little bit more, and it gets heavier because the snow keeps packing in, and it's heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. And I kind of want to say this with this Scorpio energy. Do you want to do what you did in the past and just hold it in and hold it in and hold it in until you go boom? Because guess what? Scorpio is going to make sure it comes out. That person might come out of nowhere and sting you again and go, and then you finally go, that's enough. I got to tell you what happened, because now the straw has, the straw that broke the camel's back. It might be a small thing, but because you have so much built up around this, it's all going to come out like, blah, 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 blah. And stop avoiding the storm. I've got to say this to myself, like, stop avoiding the storm. Be like the buffalo. The buffalo is an animal that actually, when they see a storm, they run towards it, not run away from it. So it's like she said, you can't fake it anymore. You can't fake the mask. You can't fake that everything's okay. You're getting so irritated by this person that it's going to go, ah! Like literally like that. It's like, you can't take the faking everything's good, because it's not good. And you be really honest and vulnerable with yourself and be like, this is not good. It's just not. I got it. Because if you let it run over again, you let Mars run over again, and you don't, it's going to become a wound. Like, it's going to become something that unnecessary. And then you'll have it in your body. What the heck? Like, don't do that. Mars retrograding by it is like, this is a deep core wound. It's old. It's probably a karmic thing. Deal with it in this lifetime, so you don't have to do this again. Let go of that energetic signature. Jeez, oh Pete.
As I'm sitting here thinking about it, it's going to be retrograding right over my Uranus. I'm like, oh man. I think it's going to be retrograding over my moon, isn't it? Yeah. Where's your moon?
26.
26, yeah, and that's where my Uranus is. My Uranus is right there with your moon. My Uranus and your moon are good friends. Yeah, it's gonna go back to 23. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm gonna get some. Yeah, I'll get my moon. I think, or 27 degrees. But yeah, it's. I know what I have to do, and I see it. But you guys, like, I want to. for whatever reason, they want me to say it again. Be like the buffalo and go head towards the storm. It's okay. You can't avoid the storm. You can either keep running from it and it keeps following you around, which will make you completely exhausted, or just go right into it and be mature, work through it, allow that participation card. Allow them to hold the weight, because that's all you want, is them to take their 2% of the way that they showed up. So talk about it. Go through the mess for a minute. It's all right. It's not going to like demolish everybody. And if it does demolish somebody, maybe they needed to be demolished because their ego got too big.
It's really true. And it's so interesting because, my cards for the final aspect this week, the moon shifting into Pisces, I think really goes with this too. I'm going to start with this card, round and round. And this I think is saying, you may have even thought that you've dealt with this thing, with this person, with this situation, with this storm already. But these other cards are saying there's still more to be dealt with. I pulled the control card, the sorrow card, the understanding in reverse, and then the totality card. I think the totality card, this is ultimately like the card, you've got to let this go, but first you've got to recognize what you're still carrying about it. And I think especially this sorrow, and maybe even, I think sometimes this lack of understanding card, but the lack of understanding with the upside down, I think we're not always understanding of ourselves. When we're like, I thought I dealt with it, I thought I talked about this, or I made it okay with myself, or I forgave this person myself, and yet this energy still comes up and comes round and round. And so you haven't been able to make the peace with it fully because you haven't completely gone there. You haven't, my other Wisdom of the Oracles card, you haven't gone to the heart of the matter. This is the loyal heart card. And I think this card is saying you've got to be loyal to yourself. You've got to be true to what your heart is asking you of the situation. And until you do, you're not going to be able to move beyond this. You're still going to be in it. You're not going to get to that understanding place where you can completely just let it go and continue swinging on your next vine like Tarzan. So, if this is happening, go round and round. Go into it. Offer yourself compassion. Offer yourself understanding that you're not done with it, and that's okay. You're allowed to have your process the way you need it to be, and you really need to be true to yourself, true to your heart. And from the goddesses, what I love is I pulled Donna, High Priestess, and it says you have divine knowledge that can help others through your spiritual teaching. But I just think this card is saying, like, hey, this is like divinely inspired. This is like God, Goddess, the light within you that's asking you to work through this energy. What do you have, the Master card?
Yep. Yeah, I have the Master.
Yeah, and so, we have to show up for these things. The job is not always like, that fake it till you make it, drop it and it'll go away thing. They teach us that non-attachment thing, but we can pretend we're not attached, but a lot of times we're still attached. And so if you're still attached, this is your call through this, this retrograde of Mars, through the moon in Pisces. Go back and do what you got to do in this. And it's okay that maybe you don't feel as completely enlightened as you should feel, non-attached, because it's saying this is part of your path. This is part of your mastery. This is part of you stepping even more into your work and showing up for yourself. Nicole?
Well, I love that round and round card. It's kind of like what I was saying with, like, the work is never done. And it's like, oh, I felt like I've done that. Oh, there's another layer. But the deeper layers that you go in, guess what? You get to the heart of the matter. You have to get to the heart of the matter. So if you've been processing this through for a while now, which I have a feeling you have been, seeing the cards I had last time. So you've been processing, and every time you process through this, where you think you forgave them and let it go, and you're trying to do it on every angle except for actually going to them. And I love that kind of heart of that matter card. I don't know what the actual card was, but it's like two owls together, and it's both of you. Like, you can't do this by yourself. You can't heal this just to go, I forgive and let it go. Woo, everything's happy. It's like, no, that's not where this lesson is. I'm sorry. You have to involve the other person, because there's something that's there's a big healing for not just you, but for them. And you both will learn from this in such a deep way. You also have to learn, by the way, I think it's on a complete collective conscious level, is we're having to deal with conflict differently. So, you know, in the very Neanderthalic way of conflict, ooh, we fight, ooh, boo, boo, boo. You know, it's like we're in the root chakra of it. So boys fight, they get drunk and they fight. But guess what they do after they fight? They usually friggin' let it go, unless they get like in the drama of it. But usually when they get physical, then it's done and we're good. Like Animal World. It's like we fight for the woman and then whoever loses has to leave the tribe, you know, whatever. But now, you know, then as we get in these higher levels, what happens is then we become passive aggressive, and then that's not doing anything either. And passive aggressive, like I'm from New Jersey originally, and I can't handle passive aggressive. It drives me crazy. If somebody like doesn't tell me what it is and then they block me on Facebook, I'm like, I can't handle you. Like I just can't. Like just talk to me. Like I just can't. That's not the way I communicate. Like if you tell me my shit, I go, okay, you told me my shit. Now we can work through this. Woo-hoo. And that's the way I work. I rather have that. And sometimes I'm a little too direct with people and they go, bleh. But so now we're upgrading from the passive aggressive of heart to heart, to have a heart to heart. And if that's not where they're at, it's none of your business the way they react to you. And that is that's the reason why we stop conflict or having conflict is because we're terrified in the way they're going to respond to our truth. But at the end of the day, what else are you going to do? Avoid it, be passive aggressive. That's annoying. That's a conditioned behavior that is ready to be thrown away. I'm just, saying. So the only thing you're in charge of is getting the heart of your matter and finding the courage to speak it. And whatever the way that they do it, it's standing here. And because you've worked it on every level, round and round and round and round and went round and round, and you've seen it in every different perspective that you can, the only thing you can do now is this. This is me. I know this is the way I feel because I looked at it 8,000 times and I'm done. And I'm ready to give it to you. And the way that you take it is the way that you take it, but I have to be true to myself. And you're ready to do it. And guess what? This is a master level lesson. Master level lesson. And I know it's not easy. Confrontation sucks. And I've been saying this for, I think I've said it for about a month now, but I've been dealing with it. So I know that I've been saying it for a month because I'm talking to myself. But, so this is what I will give you, advice-wise. First of all, the vibration of you coming at it in the heart of the matter is going to change it. No matter what happens. The vibration of just coming from this loving space and saying it in that way from the heart of the matter, the vibration's going to change the energetics no matter what you do. And secondly, keep it simple. Mm-hmm. Don't go too much into story. Just go right into the root of how you're feeling. And what happened, when that happened, I broke my heart in 10,000 pieces and I felt like I was an outsider. You made me, this situation made me feel broken inside. How can somebody not have compassion for somebody feeling broken? And if they don't have compassion, then you know where they can go, because then they're not in that vibration with you. But I don't think that's what's going to happen at all. I think it's going to be received in a vibration, but keep simple. Try to get out of the story, but really get into the heart of the matter.
Beautiful. We got some processes going on this week.
Holy moly. I mean, wow. Yeah, we definitely have some deep shit. But by the way, this whole week is like master level. So you guys, it's like this, you know why it felt so hard? Because it has been. Because you've never been through this before and it's the unknown. So yeah, we're going into some master level stuff. You guys are learning it on such a core level. It's so beautiful. You're changing the entire resonance of everybody on the planet. When you deal with conflict different, the whole planet gets a new pathway how to deal with conflict better. And God knows we need it.
Seriously.
Man, look what's going on in the elections are. It's like, what are we doing? Are we in elementary school? Like, this is ridiculous. Is our consciousness still 6? Like, this is stupid. So we have to show up in our own conflicts in a better way, because we need a better system on the planet right now.
Right. And it all starts here. So we're doing the work. We're doing the work here, and you guys are all showing up, and I'm grateful for that. So speaking of doing the work, if this week is throwing you off your loop, I have my 30 for 30 sale going on. I've been having so much fun. I'm thankful to everybody who has booked one. So you can do that on GaiaBlooming.com, and it's 30 minutes, cards, astro, healing, whatever it is you need, we can dive in. And it's amazing. It might be because I talk so fast, but it's always amazing to me how much we can cover in 30 minutes. I'm like, wow, we just did all that. So book that. And Nicole has been doing some really cool things. She's got her Monday night thing tonight. I'll let her tell you that.
Yeah, I do free reading Mondays. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On my time, it's 6 o'clock. And I go for about an hour and a half, and you can put your name in. And I give about 5 free 10-minute readings, and then I do a group reading. And then I have a drawing for a free 50 or 30-minute reading. And then on Mondays, all day Monday, I do my reading special. And so you go on NicoleOman.com, and it's a half off for my readings. It's half an hour is like $50. And I do 2 decks. We go in every aspect, because I'm a Gemini rising. So we just go to details. Plus I'm a Virgo. So I make sure that everything is covered. And if you really want to go in depth, I have my hour, and my hour is 80. And that's a lot. You get a lot from me, because not only will you get a reading with an hour, but a lot of times I end up doing a mini session. So you either get like a meditation, or sometimes I've been doing tons of cord cuttings. And that's all with whatever happens in the hour is in the hour. So it's like, if you need a reading and something else, that opens a space up for that. And it's definitely worth $80, because we go into some deep, deep, deep stuff.
Fantastic. Awesome. So lots of options out there. Check that out tonight. Check out Nicole on it'll be on Gaia Blooming Facebook page, and it's on her personal page, and it's the Nicole Oman
Coaching with Nikki
page. All the pages, all the Gemini, but you can always find it. It's all over the place, and go check that out, because like she says, I don't think you said this today, but even if you're not getting the reading, a lot of times you can still learn from the reading and resonate with the reading. And so it's really cool that she's putting that out there. So I'm done. Do you have anything else to say?
No, I think I'm good.
Cool. Thank you for joining us. We have so much fun with you every week. We love doing this, and we thank you for showing up. And we will see you next week. Namaste.
Namaste.